Hey everyone, welcome to Be More You, and I'm really happy to be here with one of my very good friends and the CEO of our company, Darren Kaulius, today to talk about something that is definitely his area of passion. He's created a coaching program within Be More You, and so I'm delighted that he's here to talk to us a little bit about the coaching process and also some of the ways that we've integrated coaching into Be More You. So Darren, I wonder if you could kick off our call here by talking about the coaching program, or talking about specifically coaching and the addition of it to Be More You.
Great. Thank you. It's one of my favorite subjects, so you may have to cut me off. But coaching, to me, was a missing piece of the self-development world. I did it years ago. I did the course, I did Context many years ago, and I found myself really fortunate. After I learned all these amazing tools, I was able to go home and practice with somebody who had done the work. And so my growth was quick and pretty amazing, big changes in my life. But I had a ton of support around me, people who had done the courses before. As I stayed involved and got some people involved and watched, what I noticed was there's a big difference between people having a support network and people not having a support network.
Right.
And I could see a huge disappointment for a lot of people who have that group that they could count on. So they went back to the same old jobs, or they went back to the relationship, or they went back to their family setting, which didn't change. They had all these tools and amazing skill set that they didn't get to practice enough. And a couple weeks later, they fell apart, or it fell apart, or this thing never worked. My experience with these tools, they're amazing, and they can be used forever in so many different ways. So that I found it really a sad piece that people weren't fully getting to use this in the real world. Coaching, to me, is a way for staying in the juice of what people learn in the course, and then getting to see how it works in the real world. Because to me, if it was just a weekend course where we get some tools and we get pumped up, and then we go out there and who knows what happens, I'm actually not that interested. I've been on this planet for a while now. That sounds like an interesting idea, but I want to know, is this going to work with my terrible boss, or my mean neighbor, or my sister who's a jerk, or whatever it is? I want to know, does this work? And if I had somebody who I can go, hey, I need to know specifically what to do here, I just find it such an advantage that I actually get pretty excited about and go, I'm watching it happen right now. I'm watching how this is actually working in the real world. This is what gets me going. This is why I'm here.
It's funny because I've actually really watched that happen through some of our courses. One of the things that's been beautiful is to watch the connections between the people that have finished the programs and then the coaches working with them. I've really seen the traction after the programs, and also seen on the flip side of it, the joy of the coaches being able to really help people through their process, not just leave the learning kind of lying on the shelf, but really articulating it so that they, leave a month or 2 months out from a program feeling like that really stuck.
Right. So that's what we're finding in this coaching program, where we have people who've been doing the work, but now they're doing it in a different level, where they're coming back to learn how to support somebody in their growth and in their learning. And as an added bonus, these coaches are living the tools more. They're playing with them. They're discussing them. They're being quizzed on them. They're seeing where it is working and not working in their lives. And so they're constantly adapting and changing and learning. And it's been an incredible experience watching our first group of coaches go through this program and seeing the difference that they're making in their lives. We've had people lose a ton of weight because that's what they wanted to do. We've had people start new careers new relationships, getting one of our coaches just got this big, just moved up in her company. She
Promotion,
asked
that's
for a
called.
raise, she got a new title. And promotion, we call that here. That's good. And in knowing that she had the confidence that she was growing as somebody who was supporting other people, and then she just started using the coaching she was giving on herself, and suddenly getting a promotion didn't seem that hard, even though I struggled with the word. She was able to go in and get what she wanted. And so I'm loving all the aspects. As we grow as coaches, as support people, we also grow as in our own world, and we get to know these tools at such a more in-depth level.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've really seen is, especially when people are turning around and applying something. It's like, well, we want to make sure that our own backyard is in order. And so people are really, it's been super inspiring to watch that. So you've alluded to the coaching program, Darren. Can you talk a little bit about, this is something that's been your brainchild, and can you talk about the early, genesis of it, and, how we got started and where it is today within Be More You?
Great. One of the things that how I learn is by things that really work well or things that really don't work well at all. And inside of the self-development world, there's so many ways that people are doing it, the courses are being offered. One of the things I saw as a real disadvantage in some of the work was that the people who were helping out had these big hearts and they wanted to help, but they didn't have the skill set, or they didn't have the practice to know how to help people get more of what they wanted. And so it became a deterrent for me in some of the courses I've done, where the assistants weren't assisting. And so what we decided to do as a company is that every person in our room would be trained at how to help people take the next step in whatever they want to do, how to help them take a step towards that. And that may sound simple, but it's not. It's a skill where we have to learn is how to listen, how to help people, how to repeat back, how to create space, and how to create trust and help somebody move forward in the real world. And so all of our coaching program comes from everybody in our room will be a certified trained coach who can help people get what they say they want. And that is the main focus. I just wanted to have everybody in the room working towards the same goal, which is helping people get more. And that's what we're creating here. And that's the idea. And from that, it's kind of taken off into a couple of other places, like people getting the results in their lives that they weren't getting on their own, because in our coaching program, you have a coach. So you're coaching and you're a coachee, and
Right.
the results that people are gathering are some of the things that I talked about earlier, but they're really quite amazing. And also the knowledge and the use of the tools from our courses, these people are really digging in and going for the deep dives, and to a level that even our facilitators don't do. We're practicing these tools for like a month at a time on a daily basis. What did I learn about context window or situational purpose today? And what more can I learn so that I can be of service and help others who are going through this too? So that's where it came from, and it's been exciting to watch and see what's happening with it.
I just want to double back on something because I think it's really significant. I spent a lot of time assisting in the program and got pretty good at it. To the point where I kind of felt like I was trained, even though there wasn't a formal certification or training program. But I love it that now that function or that role is actually paid. It's a trained, but it actually is a career path. I know back in the day, I would have really wanted to, further my skills as a coach, or, back then it was called an assistant. But for there to be a career path forward as I was doing that, I really find that that's a game changer. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So coaching is this wild world out there, and there's a lot of people. I'm a coach. I'm a coach. I'm a coach. It is anyone who can help people can get into this business. It's not a big barrier to entry to say, how do I become a coach? There's lots of ways to do it. One of our main benefits is that we're working with people who are graduates of our courses, so they know this stuff, and this is a place where they want to do more of that. What we offer is a chance to get paid to assist, to be in the room. Everybody in there is paid and trained. So it's an easy step for people who say, I want to do this anyway, but I'll be trained. Now I'll know how to do it. I'll know the language to use, how to create the space to let people be themselves. And, I get paid. So it's, in the world of win-win, which I love to play in that world, I think we've created a win-win-win, where there's multiple wins for everybody involved. Yeah. And in the end, really what it's for is for the new client to come through and feel, I have somebody on my team who's helping me. And there's people who love to do that. And I'm sure people who are watching this are like, I like doing that. Well, this program might be a perfect fit for you.
Well, yeah, and just to be clear, in case the bouncing ball got missed there, everybody coming out of the MORE course is paired up with a professional coach. So there is, a specific one-to-one connection where somebody really is caring about what each person who comes out of the MORE course wants. So everybody, it's like Oprah, everybody gets a coach. So Darren, one of the
coach. Absolutely. Yeah. I should go back to. Sorry, just cut out there. Are you there? There you are.
Yeah, I got all excited about everybody gets a coach, so it cut out.
Yes.
So we're both back online now.
Okay, cool. My love of coaching, it comes from a really interesting place to me. Is that, like many things in my life, I thought I was good at something until I did it for a while and looked at my results and realized maybe I'm not that good. And then I just kept honing it and honing it. My background in coaching comes from teaching my girls how to play sports and stepping in and being a coach. My first go around at coach, I was awful. I was that awful, terrible coach on the sports field, the guy yelling at little kids to be better or whatever the heck I was.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, but it was true. My daughters are available for interviews as well to remind me. And then doing the work and going, what am I doing? Like, what is it that I want to create? And I went back and changed how sport was coached. Like literally, I trained coaches on how to coach better and get the kids more involved in the results, and made a real difference. And I could see that, and that coaches got excited that there was a place for them to go and learn more. So I did that in sport many years ago, and I brought that over to executive coaching. That's my background, was coaching executives and young entrepreneurs who wanted more in their lives. And at first, I wasn't very good. I was all about telling them what they should do and, go do that thing there, that's the most important and that's not important. But over time, much like as a sports coach, I realized actually what we can do is help these people be the best them and not tell them what to do, but draw it out of them what they want to create in their lives, and then create the space for them to come up with the steps. And then act as an accountability coach if that's what they need, or a cheerleader if that's what they need, or somebody to just hold a mirror and say, is this what you want? Is this what you want to create? Right. And by being more adaptable and specific for each client, I can do such a much more service to the client. And that's what we train our coaches in. How are we in service to these people getting what it is they say they want more of? And it's the genesis that I've gone through and the steps I've taken. I'm hoping none of the coaches have to go through all that. They can just go, well, let's just cut to the chase and say, how can I help you, client, take the next step, whatever you want to do, and do that now? What can I do to help?
Well, you've sure come a long way, baby, because, I've just had such joy in watching you lead this group of coaches. And I don't think there's a one of them that would say that you're yelling at the kids anymore. Quite the opposite. It's been, there's just been a lot of empowerment, and man, the results that are coming out of that group. It's just been really fun to watch the whole program start. One of the things I do want to mention is an addition, as well as with the MORE course, but also an additional coaching session with the Mastery program. We've got some other videos on the site about Mastery, and we've got an interview with Jim Sorensen where he talks a little bit about Mastery. But I did want to make a plug for anybody who signs up for the Mastery program does get a free coaching session with Darren. And that's not the way it's always going to be. So for anybody who's out there really kind of maybe a little bit on the fence about the Mastery program, maybe you have some questions about it, don't even really know about it or know if it's for you, please check out the link below. I would love for you to have the opportunity to talk with Darren, just one of my best friends on the planet, and really one of the best coaches I've ever come across, because of what you said, Darren, in terms of really knowing what people need, whether it's accountability, whether it's, at a certain time, people just need a little bit of a high five, but you have that sixth sense of knowing what a person needs. And I know that you're passing that on to the group of coaches in, with some processes to know how to do that kind of stuff. So if anybody is at all interested in Mastery, set up an appointment with Darren, and you won't regret having a coaching session with this guy.
Thank you.
Promise you that. Yeah.
We have different levels of coaching. As you come out of different programs, we have different coaching available. So our first level is after our first course, after the MORE course, is called support coaching. So we're really just supporting people in taking the next step, whatever they want to do with their lives. That's our main job. And they're shorter sessions. They're quick and they're to the point. And then we follow up to make sure you're doing what you say you wanted to do. So it's really great support. After that, we step into coaching. So coaching is a longer session. They're an hour, which I would do with anybody who signs up for our courses. They're an hour discussion around where, what you want to do with your life, some bigger steps. And then we break it back down to where do you want to go today that'll help you get towards that quickly. And that's one of my gifts, why I'm here on this earth. I'm the alchemist of possibilities. I believe
you are.
Help people see another way. So if you're hitting a wall and you're hitting a wall and you're hitting a wall, I'm going to suggest we try something else. That one's done. We've dented that wall, but let's see what it would look like to try it over here or over there. And I'm not tied to my results. I really want to help people try something different that'll help them. And so that's our next level of coaching. And then after Mastery, we have mentor coaching. And that's for not just me, but some other coaches. Robin would be one of those, that Jim and Carol and some of these other amazing human beings who have experience in whatever it is you say you want. You can really have a session where you can pick their brains and they can really help direct or support or whatever it is you need to take a big step. So there's these different levels of coaching depending on what our clients need. Whatever you need, that's what we have available. And that's the biggest part of our program is walking into the right coaching for me as a coach and being there to support the client whatever they need.
And I love, Darren, that you alluded to the idea that people don't necessarily need to know what they want going into this. Part of the coaching session is exploring that. So, sometimes I know when, I've had times in my life where I knew I needed to be coached, but I didn't know exactly around what. So you don't have to know that coming in. That's part of the process,
Actually,
right?
It's more helpful because, we have a saying in coaching, which is, the thing is never the thing. So most people walk in and they're like, it's this thing and this thing, which by the way is normally them. It's like they have to change. It's my boss. It's my wife. And it's not. But we let people go through that to get to the real want. And whatever that looks like, sometimes you just need someone to bounce it back off of, to say, oh my gosh, I don't want this. I actually want this. Well, great, let's talk about that. And so whether you think you know or you have no idea, great, you're in the right place. And let us help you with that and see if by us just repeating back or asking some questions that the answer doesn't come from you. Because by the way, our coaches don't have the answers. That's not what we're really good at. What we're really good at is helping you find your answer. Right.
That's really important. Yeah, we're not the answer people. We're the question people.
One of our trainings in coaching that we pass on is ask better questions. I believe the answers are inside, but maybe no one's asked it the right way, or no one's here to just not judge it, just be a container for what's going on for you, and maybe it'll come out that way. It's been working. I mean, I've been a coach for a long time. This works. It's just a matter of people coming and going, yeah, I could use a hand with this. I need some support around this, or I need a coach who can help me get to the next level.
I love that you use the word container too, because it really is a container for whatever is going on, whatever we want to move forward. The coach will put a container around that and jump in and help move that forward. Grab the reins, grab a pedal, and the other person's got the reins, and that's awesome.
Absolutely. See, I come from a background, I just have had some incredible coaches in my life when I was quite young. They were such a big factor for me that I got into coaching quite early. Like I've said, it wasn't always pretty. But what I believe is, if somebody is outside of the story, someone just doesn't know all my stuff, my story, my excuses, who can just hear what I'm saying and repeat it back to me, or suggest, have I checked over behind door number 17, and let people decide whether that's right for them or not. I have had both the experience of being coached and coaching. It is one of the most incredible things when people just realize, oh my gosh, it's not a huge change. I don't have to do anything big. It's usually a very small shift. It's just a reframe. It's a different angle. It's not much that could make huge changes in their lives. And like all our coaches who are doing this, we love to help people create more of what they say they want in their lives. This is a pretty cool job I have, that I get to help people do that. And I don't have to have any of the answers. Thank goodness. Anyone who knows me is like, that guy? But what that guy is good at is listening and just coming up with better questions and helping you create some new possibilities. It's not my expertise in the English language or mathematics or science. I'm just going to listen. I'm going to repeat back. I'm going to throw out some possibilities. And it's amazing what people can do. Just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, just knowing that somebody else is in their corner and, really cheering them on, supporting them. And and in some cases, really, really caring about the results. And, been the exciting thing, is just to watch everybody be celebrated for kicking ass in their lives.
Yeah, whatever that looks like. And that's the thing, you know, from one person to the next, it's totally different. There's some people who, you know, if they said, I'm going to go to the gym once this month because that's what I really want, that might be huge for that person. Whereas somebody else who goes every day, you know, that's nothing to them, but it's by case. And if somebody, that's a big thing and they've never been able to do it, the change that could make in their lives by doing it once could be huge, just
Epic.
incrementally huge. And so my job isn't to go, that's not very much, or that's not going to do anything. If that's important to you, I want to support you to do that, like whatever that takes, because I've seen it. That juices me up to see, oh my gosh, look at what you're doing now. And you came up with it. I'm just supporting you in getting it.
Right. Well, there's been lots of ground covered. I want to do a quick reminder about the coaching program will be starting up again. So there will be an intake coming up. We'll have some dates on our coaching page on our website. And just a reminder about anybody who's interested in mastery or, you know, even wants a little bit more information about that. I encourage you to email Michelle at the address below, and she'll set up an appointment with you with Darren. And you can just talk this out and see if it's something that that is, you know, you're ready for, and you know, something that would work for you in your life right now. And Darren, is there anything else you want to say just to complete the call?
Yeah, you know, I think there's going to be people who are watching this and go, I don't have a coach, or I don't need a coach, and I want to talk to those people because that was me many, many times over my life. But when I really look back, and you and lots of people, when I really look back at some of the greatest successes of my life, which I actually did today, I was just listing them out, knowing this interview was coming. I've never done anything of great significance all on my own. I've always had a mentor, somebody who's done it before, or somebody who could help me really see things I wasn't seeing. Help me achieve some of the great things I have. And I've had a blessed life there. I'm just incredibly fortunate for some of the things that have happened in my life. And I'm here to say it wasn't just me. I had so much help along the way. I needed a coach. I needed somebody who could just help me see things I wasn't seeing. You know, blind spots are such a big word these days. If that's what you're looking for, a coach is really, really good at that, because we're not tied to your story. So we're not listening to, oh, it's always this or always that. It's like, oh, also, do you see this? The key is in your results. If you have the results that you want in an area, keep going. If you don't, do something different. One of the things you could do different, grab a coach and say, hey, I need to get past this thing. Can you, how can you help me? That would be a great conversation. I'd love to have that with you. Get a hold of Michelle, and let's find a way for us to do that.
Actually, pick up your texting and text Michelle.
I don't even know how old I am.
Yeah, right? That's right. Yeah. Get your tin can out.
That's not a thing. The tin can won't work. Use the internet. It works.
Darren, thanks so much. It's been a delight talking about this. I know how much you love coaching, and I know how passionate you are about this program, and it's great for you to, have a chance to share it with the rest of our crew out there. And I hope for some of you who just feel like maybe the next step is to drop that I want to do this all by myself thing, because I know we all have it at times. But to reach out and connect with Darren, I think you will not regret a second of it.
Right. And I want to let you know, there's no extra big trophies for doing it on your own. It's the same trophy. So why not get some help and get there faster? I think that more efficient, quicker, faster. I know that speaks to some of you. That can be there with coaching.
So true. So like you said earlier, grab a coach, grab a coach. So thanks to all of you for being here on this call. We'll be doing this more regularly, so tune in, and you'll meet some of our other program leaders and team members in videos to follow. But thanks for tuning into this one. And Darren, thank you so much for being here. It was so much fun.
Thanks, Robbie. It was fun.
Okay.
Talk to
Bye.
you later. Bye.